Battlefield Podcast.
Hey everybody, Ole aka Chalk 1 here with Tim aka Darkness 429 from Battlefield Podcast, and we want to talk just briefly about this rumor that's been circulating around the interwebs about Battlefield 4 possibly having 70 player servers on the PC. 70 plus 2, really, if you count the two commanders. This rumor stems from math based on 5-person squads. The argument being that 64 doesn't divide equally into 5-person squads, whereas 70 would. You'd have two teams of 7 5-man squads. What do you think, Tim? Does that sound reasonable to you? What do you think that might be something to be looking at, 70-player servers?
I really don't think it's going to be all that noticeable. I mean, you're just increasing the size on both sides by 3. And if they were going to increase the server side to, let's say, 100, if it was going to be a 100-man servers, I think that would be a big thing. But just to increase the total amount by 6 players, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I mean, yeah, for all those OCD players out there, it would kind of bug you if you got a whole bunch of squads that are full and then a squad of 2. But we see that already in Battlefield 3. You have a lot of squads with 3 or 2 or maybe even just 1 player in them. So you're always going to have those lone wolves. You're not always going to have full squads. And then, yeah, it might be frustrating, but that's just how the game is played. So I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. What do you think?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, you look at it nowadays, it's not like every squad is full. Like you said, there's lone wolves around. And even if you look back to Battlefield 2, we had 64-player servers on PC. At that time, they were 6-man squads, and that also doesn't divide equally into the 32 players aside. So I don't think the whole math argument is really that valid. Could they go to 70 players performance-wise? Sure. I don't see why not. I don't see why they would. 64 works. To be honest, 64 is hard enough to play with already.
Yes.
Like you said, I don't think 6 players would make a difference one way or the other. But I'm curious what folks in our audience think. Leave us some comments as to, do you think this could happen? Do you think it would make a difference, positive or negative? And is this something you'd want to see? Now, we've probably speculated before about going beyond 64. For some reason, people always go from 64 to 128 servers, right?
That makes sense. Sure, yeah, let's double the whole thing.
It's this whole computer speak. Everything's got to be binary and nicely divisible by 8. But 64 to 128 is a big jump. 64 to 70, sure, it'd be possible. I don't think it's likely, but I'm curious to see what everybody else thinks.
As always, thanks so much for watching, guys. We really do appreciate it. If you are new to the channel and haven't seen what we do here at the Battlefield Podcast, please make sure to hit the subscribe button. If you'd like to, follow us at BF Podcast on the old Twitter. And then you can visit us at battlefieldpodcast.com for all the other social media links.